all that took place, and they did this thing. And at the end of this parade, where they have the, the bands and the floats and all that, they would have like a Santa Claus parade in Hollywood each year. You would have this veiled prophet. He would be veiled, a very weird and sinister looking thing. But that was their little star there at the base of the parade. And that was from that poem, the Carossan poem by William Moore. Here's some people objecting to the veiled prophet thing, black people, because they felt it was a racist and classist setup. So here they are making fun of it, dressing like the veiled prophet.
God.
Freemasonry and all its allied organizations, they tried to have fun too. And what they did to have fun, they would create like other allied organizations called burlesque organizations. Like this is a cover of a book they would have, a ritual book, like their normal ritual book, but it would have ritual scenes that were just extremely humorous to them, really offbeat, weird stuff. And there are a lot of these organizations that happen. I have a dozen of these types of booklets, and it's a fascinating sideline of the Freemasonic concept. Here's another one right here. Okay. We must not forget there were a lot of drinking type organizations allied with Freemasonry. That's the Royal Order of Jesters in the upper left and right. Royal Order of Jesters is thought to be a very high level Masonic organization, and this is why. See that, like, I guess half Buddha, half retarded character there? And that is their emblem, their icon. The thing is about the Royal Order of Jesters, to get into the Royal Order of Jesters, you had to have been a Shriner. But to become a Shriner, at least about a year ago, what you had to do to join the Shriners, you had to be a 32nd degree Scottish Rite Freemason. So you had to be raised, that's a 3rd degree. Then you have to go through all those other degrees. And then you have to join the Shriners. And then whatever it takes to join the Shriners, go through the ritual, that. Then, only then, can you join the Jesters. The Jesters in recent years, they got involved with some pretty problematic situations, and they got in trouble with it because there was a lot of prostitutions from state and international lines that they're involved in, and some were thrown in jail for it, and it was not a very nice thing. Oh, that turtle in the lower left, maybe you're wondering what that is. The Turtle is an organization by veterans, and if you say you're a turtle, you're obliged to go drinking with this guy and see who gets drunk under the table first. That's, if you were able to do that, you're the high turtle. There's a Shriner doing what comes naturally. Then there are temperance organizations.
Somebody didn't get the memo.
That's General William Booth on the left, the creator of the Salvation Army. And that emblem there is pretty fantastic. That's the Salvation Army emblem there. This book shows you the prevalence, the all-encompassing prevalence of fraternal orders in America. This book is from the late 40s, I believe. But it's pretty spectacular how much it was and how many people were involved. It was guessed that 1 out of every 3 people in the United States belonged to a secret society at one point. This is when you drive into a town, you will see something like that with all the fraternal orders you could join or go to a meeting of or whatnot. there. One aspect of joining the Freemasons or the Oddfellows is that they were big on providing services that the government did not provide at the time. One of those is funeral services and burial and all that stuff. At that point, it was very expensive for a family at the time to do these services. So a lot of people joined these fraternal societies as a way of taking care of matters like this. Another thing they were taking care of is providing a kind of a medical insurance at the time. And a lot of fraternal orders became insurance companies per se, like Woodmen of the World, and they're part of that. Remember that Jack Nicholson movie where he was working for this insurance company in Omaha, Nebraska? He's touring around later in the film with a Winnebago and so on. That film that shows you that's a fraternal order become an insurance company right there. Fraternal order is also prevalent in America's greatest game of baseball. Here's some all-stars, the St. Louis Cardinals, wearing their Shriner fezzes and showing off where they're affiliated, who they were affiliated with. That guy there, anyone recognize him in the middle in this chair? Babe Ruth, yes. Babe Ruth. There was there were league games that were played, sort of like Harlem Globetrotter-esque type things, where he played for Woodmen of the World. They were affiliated with fraternal orders. And then he would play baseball and have fun and do weirdness. And this is for a photo shoot to promote some of those Woodmen of the World games. You never heard of that. There was Major League Baseball, then Woodmen of the World games? That's amazing. This is from the 1964 the Masonic Order at the World Fair in New York City. And that's a pretty spectacular image to show that the Masonic building is, you're going to be spinning like electron around the world there if you belong to a Masonic organization. There's the big G and that tower there. Another aspect of fraternal orders, what do they do now? They're far more diminished organizations than they were, 50, 60 years ago. Is there any real important aspect to society still affiliated with the Masons and what they did? What I've discovered is, yes, they are very important among police. They're very important among the military. They're very important with NASA even. There's a Masonic lodge within Houston NASA headquarters. Wow. So this is a parade showing the Fraternal Order police float there in some Midwestern town. Among the various things that Masonic orders and Shriner orders did, they always had these cross-country parades, these caravans. And here's one affiliated with President Warren Harding with the Shriners in 1923. Here's one with an organization called the Maccabees. Again, the Maccabees became an insurance company later on, but that was a fraternal order. I don't think it exists anymore, really. And I found a float catalog. You could buy floats from this company, and they had floats for various fraternal orders. Here's the Lions Club at the top and Shriners at the bottom. So it shows you how all-American these organizations were. Here's nearby in Tacoma here. They had a Shriner parade, and
wow.
There's a little man and a big man there. All these booklets they have, the ritual booklets that are handed out, given if you're a member of the society. This is a Woodmen of the World booklet. Give you diagrams of marching around if you needed to do that and what to do. That's an interesting symbol they have.
Yeah.
The KKK, it being a Protestant organization primarily, was quite big in the United States in the teens, in the 20s. Here they are marching on Pennsylvania Avenue near the White House and the Capitol building. And it's fantastic that these people were encouraged to do that. You might remember, though, there was in The Birth of the Nation film by D.W. Griffith, a president, I think it was Woodrow Wilson, gave a little blurb at the front of how honest and truthful to American history this film was.
Oh my God.
You gotta, this is all about a part of America. The misogyny, the racism, all that, the family structure, totally involved with the lodge orders of the time. And you can't separate the two. The Scottish Rite and other temples say they are not that. They're not involved with politics. They're not racist. They're not misogynist. They do this, but that's kind of a covering up sensation or sense, and they don't like to admit this was their world, and it was. Here's some more KKK stuff. Just to show you, to prove the Masonic type of diagrams and rituals played out by the KKK on the right-hand side, it's identical to many Freemasonic diagrams of rituals that are going on in the group. Then, courier knives. Those were diagrams collected by every good American, and put in their kitchen and all that. The courier knife stuff. Here's a extremely racist depiction of Masonic ritualism portrayed by African American people. Now, what this is, it's probably not as bad as it seems here. What it is a satirical magazine from the North making fun of Scottish Rite people. And so there's a Confederate soldier below and doing a cornerstone ritual. A cornerstone ritual, we should get into that, what that means. What is it? Cornerstone ritual came from the building of big churches, and it was said to be that you had to sacrifice a human being at that point for major structures. And Notre Dame, people were killed as part of the raising of that building to a ritualistic thing to kiss off that big new structure. Here we have it. You'll see, as coming up in these images, the cornerstone ritual was not murderous per se, but it was a reflection of a past murderous ritual. Here's some more racist elements of, lodge group stuff. Here is Prince Hall member, and that was really the first African American organization within the American Lodge system. They were never given any credibility, even to this day, that the Prince Hall lodges were real lodges that one should take seriously as an actual Masonic lodge. Here's a Prince Hall, a promotional postcard. Noble Drew Ali is a very fascinating figure. He claimed that the Moorish Science Temple, which he created and he located in Harlem, was that they were the original fraternity group in American history. And the reason that he thought so is that there was a treaty, or a letter at least, drawn by George Washington to